YouTube, Tim from Welland, and today I'm going fishing. Hello YouTube. Today I'll be fishing with the dollar store rod once again. For $3, you know, give it a try. Like I said, I've caught fish with them before, but I've never actually managed to catch one on tape with one before. Today I'll be using a Mitchell reel, which even though I'm using a $3 rod, I'm using an expensive reel because you can't cheap out when it comes to fishing reels, in my opinion. You know, you got multi-ball bearings, anti-reverse, and for my setup today I'm using just a pickerel rig and a bell sinker, which is my common setup for back here. Once again, I'm in the backyard of my family's property here, and this is where I do a lot of my fishing. I catch catfish down here, bowfins, largemouth bass. Sometimes we get schools of perch in too. I don't know. They come and go though. It's hit and miss, eh? One day we'll get like 10 perch, and the next day we'll get nothing. So you never know what you're going to catch out back here, but it's always fun. It's always nice just to get out and relax. So hopefully I'll catch something for you guys on video today, and I'll show you how this fishing rod holds up. There we go. Got one. Oh yeah, just turned the camera on, had to run towards the water. Oh, good size too. I don't know what it is yet, but we'll find out. Oh, bit of a fight. Channel cat. See, everybody worries about catfish, and they always say that they sting, and they don't know where they sting from. You have to be careful with them. It's not their whiskers that sting. Of course, I forgot my pliers. When it comes to catfish, it's not the whiskers that sting, it's their barbs on the end of their fins, and then they're on their back fin. They're really sharp, and every time I've ever been stung by one, it's almost like a bee sting. You get a little red thing around. It doesn't last very long though, but yeah. Little channel cat. They come about this big around here, but it's a start. Let's see if we can get one a little bit bigger than that. Got a lot of mosquitoes out here today. Speaking of bugs, mentioned in a previous video, always when you're outdoors, check for ticks. When we had our fishing tournament down here a few weekends ago, we had one kid had 2 ticks on him, another kid had 1 tick on him, and my son had one, and it was buried like right here in his neck. Couldn't see at the time because it was like pitch black down here. When we host our fishing tournament down here, it's usually 9 o'clock till midnight because that's prime time for the bigger like bowfins and big channel cats, because they smell out food and they hunt around better at nighttime. I think seems to be when we catch the biggest ones. But anyways, my son had the tick buried in his neck, and his mom has this tool that she actually got from the veterinarian for taking ticks off of her dogs. But it worked super good for Austin, so what I would suggest is go to a veterinarian place or possibly even a pet supply store. And it's this little yellow thing, about that big, and it's got 2 hooks on it. It looks like the claws of a claw hammer. And it goes underneath the body, like at the neck of the tick. You give it a little twist, and then you pry it out. Head comes out, everything comes out perfectly. Really handy tool to have, works super good. And then after that, what you have to watch out for with the ticks for the Lyme disease is to make sure, apparently the telltale sign of the Lyme disease is after you've removed the tick, after like a day or so, you end up with like a red dot and then a white ring and then a red ring. Sort of looks like a target. You see any signs of that, get to your doctor right away. They'll pump you with some antibiotics, and apparently it gets rid of it, like as long as you treat it right away. Lyme disease makes you sick if it goes untreated, and it just really attacks your system. So first off, remove the tick with the tool. You can even send the tick into the ministry apparently and get it checked as well. My sister saves some of them and then brings them into the vets to get them checked, because we have different types of ticks around here. We got a deer tick and a dog tick. Apparently the dog ticks don't have the Lyme disease, it's in the deer ticks. Don't quote me on any of this stuff. I'm not a physician, I'm not like a ministry person, I'm not a health professional. This is just goes from research and stuff that I've done. So just be safe. Get a partner, get somebody to check your back for you and stuff. Oh, I'm getting a bite and I missed it. Seems to be this year, a lot of people are getting them on their necks. Last year I had one, it was in my belly. Although the other day, it was just so random. We were sitting at Tim Hortons, me and a few of my friends with our bikes, and they have a picnic table, and it's just like a little 10 by 12 piece of grass. All of a sudden my friend, he's like, oh, I got something on my back. I'm like, what the heck? We looked at it and he ended up having a tick on him. Well, here's fish number 2 for the day. Not anything huge, just a little sheephead. And he swallowed the hook. Yeah. So basically in real time, I've been down here for about an hour. And I caught the one channel cat and I caught the sheephead. You have your days where you're catching a fish every 10 minutes. You have your days where you don't catch anything for an hour. Usually down here it's pretty consistent though. Once again, I'm back on my family's property in the backyard here. Nice place to be. It's nice and relaxing. Oh, getting a bite. No, missed it. We have a dock we usually have set up and stuff, but we don't usually put that in until about mid-June to early July. Sitting on the dock's nice too, because I built all these fishing rod holders for it. So I think I made like 10 rod holders on there. Works really good for our little fishing tournaments. The dock's over there, but then we got a few guys, like my buddy Terry, who likes to fish right over here by this little inlet. You get lucky no matter where you are fishing back here. But the the bowfins don't usually come in till it gets warmer out. Like, it's been getting warm, but still cold at night and stuff like that. It's very fluctuation right now. When it's consistently warm, it seems like they come in more. And actually, the spot right over there where my friend Terry likes to fish, they seem to hang out there a lot. But at nighttime, they just troll up and down. Anywhere they find a scent, they follow the scent trail. When we fish for bowfins at nighttime, a lot of times we use raw shrimp or cut bait. Basically, you get a fish and you just cut it into chunks, put a chunk on your hook and throw it out there. It sits on the bottom, you just need a couple split shot to help get it out there. And what you have to do is leave a slack line, because if they grab it and they feel any resistance, they spit it out automatically. So you sort of watch your line when you can see it at nighttime. It's hard to do, but I set up little lights to look at the line and stuff. But you'll see your line go from limp to like taunt, and then back to limp. And then you know, like, the fish is like feeling it out. And then it'll finally make the commitment and eat it, and then your line will go, and then you set the hook. Or in the case of what happened to me last year, running the tournament, doing the weigh-in for some people. So I'm up here weighing in. All of a sudden, my fishing rod zooms right off the dock. So I ran, jumped off the dock into the water, grabbed my fishing rod out of the water, and I was fighting the fish in the water. Luckily, because I still had my cell phone, my wallet in my pocket, my smokes, the water where I landed was only just past my knees at that point. So I'm like trying to get everything out of my pockets, handing it to people up on the docks, and I'm fighting this fish in the water, hollering for everybody, get a net, get a net. And it was a big bowfin. It was a good sized bowfin. I think it weighed in around 10 pounds. But what ended up happening is that was around 10:30, 11 o'clock at night, and our tournaments run from 9 till midnight. 10 to 12, this kid hunter, boom, his rod just goes down. So he's fighting this thing, and it's like weighing a ton. Couldn't figure out what it was. He lands it, and it's a turtle. And I'm like, oh shit. Because earlier in the night before the tournament started, we were joking around about how, what happens if we catch a turtle. I'm like, I guess we'll count it. You know, it's alive, it's in the water. Never thought in a million years that anybody would have actually caught one. So we get it in. It's in the net. He's like, does it count? I said, if you can weigh it and it weighs more than my bowfin, it'll count. So he's like, how do we weigh it? And I'm like, I don't have a clue. That's up to you to figure out, man, because I ain't touching that thing. Big, mean, pissed off snapping turtle. Clean hook set through the lip, you know, just like a fish or whatever. It wasn't like anything to get stressed or anything. They're just not a big fan of being handled. So what we ended up doing is we weighed the fishing net with the turtle in it. I handed him the net and I said, here, get that out of the net. So we got it out of the net, no problem, and let it go, and then we re-weighed the net and he beat me by a couple pounds. Those turtles weigh a lot. Especially, you know, it was a big snapper. It was like, just going nuts. So I lost the tournament with 10 minutes left after getting soaked. But my cell phone was fine, my wallet was fine. But it was fun, it's a good story. So this year, I specifically put in the rules before our last tournament a few weeks ago that I happened to win with a big channel cat. No turtles allowed. Oh, it was just a fluke. It was funny. As you can tell, I missed one. Not a big deal. I don't stress out about missing fish or anything like that. It's a little different dynamic though, fishing and trying to record it at the same time, especially by yourself. I had to stop the camera and restart the camera probably 10 times, and that's like when I caught that catfish. I had fished for a few minutes or whatever. I stopped the camera and I hit restart on the camera just because it's easier to edit. I hit record on the camera, and then all of a sudden, boom, my fishing rod goes down. So I ran over and landed it. Obviously, you guys seen that on the camera, but it's a completely different dynamic. I enjoy making the YouTube videos. They're fun. You speak your mind, be a little goofy sometimes. It's just good to see that there's people out there in the world with a common interest. Or interests. Like you've noticed, it's a little bit versatile. Yesterday's almost cooking show that didn't quite work out. Pretty much every time I go fishing, when I go to get worms, I buy a couple sticks of pepperoni. Worst case scenario is run out of worms, you can put a piece of pepperoni on there, and catfish will go for that too. This stuff smells bad, right? And they're attracted to scents. I remember the first bowfin I had ever seen caught, because it wasn't me that caught it. We were fishing for what we used to have around here. It used to be called the Catfish Derby. It was for little kids. So we went to this little creek. It was me and my son. I think he was around 6 at the time. And we were fishing for channel cats because there's some big ones where we were. And we were using cabasta. It was just so violent. We were using, I think it was like an 8-foot ugly stick at that particular time, because I like to use bigger rods when I'm fishing for tournaments. They're just more forgiving, and I don't know. When I fish for myself just for fun, I use like a 5-foot ultralight, 4-pound test, just for the challenge. When I'm out on my Harley, I obviously use the collectible rods, but when I'm fishing for the tournaments, like even out back here, I use like my 12-foot rod that's for the river for salmon and stuff. It's good flex, helps you fight the fish better, right? So anyways, we were at the Catfish Derby, fishing with, shoot, I think that was a log, wasn't a fish. We were down at Catfish Derby fishing, using cabasta for channel cats, and it was just so violent, the rod, wham! He's fighting the fish, I'm trying to hold the rod, I get the net, and I'm scooping out of the water, I'm like, what the hell is this thing? So, looking through the book, couldn't find anything, go on the phone, internet search, ends up being a bowfin. Now we brought the bowfin to the tournament, but because there wasn't a class for bowfin, you had like the class for bass, you had the class for catfish or whatever. Even though it was one of the heaviest fish that caught that day, it didn't count for anything. But that was the first time I'd ever seen a bowfin. And man, they're ugly. And that was, like I said, my son was 6, so that was probably around 9-10 years ago. Then after that, it had been many, many, many years since I've seen one, because I hadn't seen one again until we started fishing back here a few years ago. But at least this time when I caught one here, I knew what it was. I was fishing with my buddy Steven at nighttime. We were out on the dock in mid-July-ish, I think it was. And, yeah, boom. Well, like I said, it's not really boom because you do the slack line. But once they get on there, it's like boom, because they fight. They fight so good. You'll have it right close to shore, and even like a 5-pounder, it'll like, boom, it takes off. Everybody says pound for pound bass are the best fighting fish. My opinion, bowfins, man, they're just like one muscle. One big muscle. A lot of times with the bowfins, it's hard to even take a picture of because you're holding them and they're just like flexing. Oh, I got you that time. Another catfish. See, what I'm going to show you guys now is the difference. That first fish that I caught was a channel cat, and it was longer and skinnier, very light coloration. This one's called a mud cat, I believe. No, sorry, a brown bullhead. But they also call them mud cats. You can tell the difference because their girth, they're fatter. And even though this fish is like the same length as the last one that I had caught, a lot more weight to it just because they're fatter. They're stronger. This guy got the line inside of his mouth pretty good. I'll just see how easy my line breaks. It's only a 2-pound test, this one. But anyways, these guys here bite. Try to get your finger in the mouth to get the hook out, and they keep biting me. And they do have teeth. But anyways, I'm going to have to shut the camera back off. I should have left my pliers out from before, but I didn't. So I'll have to shut the camera back off and dig the pliers back out of my tool bag. So anyways, at least you guys get to see the difference. Channel cat versus brown bullhead. Anyways, YouTube, I'm going to wrap it up for the day. Once again, dollar store $3 rod, Mitchell reel. I only have 2-pound test on this reel because this reel is usually on like a 5-foot ultralight, like micro light. Like I'll use it one of these days on the camera, but it just makes it more fun. It's more challenging sometimes. And my setup today was, I don't know if the camera will pick it up, it's called a pickerel rig. You get them at your local bait and tackle shop or Wally World or Crappy Tire. And just a little bell sinker on the end. Simple setup, 89 cents for one of these. It comes with the hooks, all different sizes. Bell sinker, I don't know, it's like $3 for a big pack of bell sinkers. And tons of fun. Been out here for a few hours. There's a lot of starting and stopping of the camera and stuff. Just remember to like and subscribe to my channel, please. And mention it one more time. When you get home, always check for ticks. Have a good day. See you guys next time.